What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Figure Bros. My name is Philip, and as you can see today, we are unboxing and reviewing the newest Mezco from the G.I. Joe lineup, Mezco 112 Firefly. In this review, I'll be asking a very similar question. Is this figure worth it? Because let's be honest, Hasbro also makes the G.I. Joe Classified lineup for a fraction of the price. Is Mezco really the justification for spending $115, $120, $95 on another G.I. Joe figure, or should you just take your money and go over to Hasbro and just buy it for the fraction of the price? I'll be answering that question again at the end of this video. If you're new, please do me the big favor right now, hit that like button. Again, maybe also hit that subscribe button too while you're at it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a video. Comment on this video right now. Answer that question. Do you think that Mezco is doing a better job with the G.I. Joe lineup than Hasbro? Do you think it's worth to go run out and buy a Mezco for almost double or triple the price, or should you just save the money and go buy a G.I. Joe Classified? I'm going to leave that up to you guys. You guys already know how I stand. And the last video in the Storm Shadow, I pretty much answered that question, but I'll be answering that question again with Firefly. And as always, we'll be going over articulation, look and design, price, accessories, all that good stuff. And then I'll give this figure a final verdict score of a grading scale of 1 to 100. If you like this type of content, you want to see more of this type of content, go check out some of our other videos. Hit that subscribe button like I mentioned. Please, at the very least, hit that like button. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this review. Okay, you guys, like all other reviews, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the articulation first. And this is a very big focus point for me because, again, when you're spending this much money, I think the articulation should be, up to standards of a Hasbro. And I think Hasbro actually has pulled off articulation better for these figures. That's mainly because of all the clothing, which we'll talk about that in the look and design segment. But let's go ahead and start off with articulation. You guys know Storm Shadow was not happy with the articulation at all. So let's see if Firefly is any better. So going to the head, you can actually look down pretty good amount. His head popped off there. So you guys can see double ball peg comes off pretty easily, which is not a bad thing. He can look up about that much, I guess. He can look down significantly more than a Storm Shadow. Storm Shadow had no movement because of that hard plastic, and you guys can see already the design's much better here because we actually get some soft scarf material, so pretty good there. Side to side, much better side to side than a Storm Shadow, so I'm really happy about that. Moving over to the arms, Storm Shadow did have some good articulation in the arms. Firefly, not going to have it. He does have a bicep bicep cut there. Double jointed, but you can see, he is going to get the 90 degrees, but he's not going to get as much as a Storm Shadow. You want to be very careful because this suit, you do not want to rip it. So just remember that. We do get a hinge for the wrist. You guys can see right there. So arms are okay. Not as good as a Storm Shadow, but, I don't expect, Firefly to pull off some ninja poses. So let's go ahead and go down to the torso. All right, torso, not bad. He can look like nothing back up. So I mean like nothing, guys. And that's because we got this piece holding us down, plus to the suit. This is very thick material on his suit, which again I do get. Can he move side to side? He can move like nothing side to side. You guys can hear it. Not very good in the torso section. Legs, that's about that much of a split that you're gonna get. Which okay, for Firefly, I guess that's okay. He can kick out his leg about that much. Okay, not bad at all. Can barely go back at all. Suit very thick. We do get a thigh cut there. Going down to the ankles, man, I can hear Jared right now. These ankles suck! And he would be 100% right. These ankles are just so bad, man. Like, if you're going to make this material, Mezco, just make it some softer rubber so we can get a little bit more out of our ankles. Again, I don't expect much for him as far as like ankle and doing dynamic poses for Firefly because he's Firefly. He's got, arm to the teeth and stuff like that. So, I get that much. Articulation is just okay, honestly. It's passable, but it's barely passable. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the look and design of Firefly. Look and design, he's on point. First of all, look at that head sculpt right there. It's a pretty good head sculpt. Let's see if we can get a better focus angle. Lights, I might have to dim the light just a little bit here. Let's see if that helps get a little more of a focus shot. Right there's pretty good, actually. So there you go. You guys can see. Looks pretty good. Looks appropriate. The design of the suit, I actually am not opposed against this one. I was opposed for it when they used it for Storm Shadow. It's very, not similar material. This one definitely feels like more like army, thicker cloth material, where the other one was more of like a jumpsuit. but it was a little bit thicker. This one I say was a notch. I say this suit that Firefly is wearing is definitely a notch thicker than Storm Shadow. I was opposed for it for Storm Shadow because he's a ninja and I should be getting dynamic poses out of him. I couldn't do that. I don't expect dynamic poses out of Firefly, but the design of the suit, the camouflage, everything, I think it works really well for him actually. Like really, really well. You guys can see, nice design on the back. It's pretty good all around. I mean, the hand sculpt, or head sculpt is pretty good. Now, I did want to talk about, actually, you know what, why that actually happened. That's something I do want to talk about. The design of the wrist pegs. Let's see if I can get it out now. Okay, so you guys remember Storm Shadow? I said they need to make it just a tad thicker, a little bit more bulkier, actually, for these pegs. I'm afraid over time they were going to break. I'm happy to say they do look like they fixed that for Firefly. They do seem to be just a centimeter thicker, which is all I was asking for. Just a little bit thicker, a little bit longer, stuff like that. Really good there, and I do like that underneath the suit we actually get the flesh tone. So pretty good all in all. Looks like Firefly. Not a whole lot to talk about for the look and design. You know, top to bottom, he looks pretty good. He looks pretty accurate for Firefly, which, again, I'm not expecting too much from him. I'm going to go ahead and change the camera angle. We're going to go top down. We're going to talk about the accessories. I think that's, again, where Mezco shines the brightest, and Firefly is no exception to that rule. We have some amazing accessories, so let's go ahead and bust them out right now. All right, now that we got the camera all adjusted, we got all the accessories out, let's go ahead and talk about the accessories themselves. All right, go ahead and start off with the alternative head. Again, I'll say this a million times, I'll sound like a broken record. Mezco really have improved with their head sculpts. Much appreciation for that as well. We also get his little pair of goggles right there, which, you know, really nice little band on them. We get a bunch of like knee pads and different types of holsters for his knife. We get a short one, we get a long one right there, pretty good. We also get another type of knee pad that has the detonators on them, which is really cool. Another knee pad for his side piece, a little holster there, that's pretty cool. A really nice gun actually. Like the detail on this gun's actually pretty good. Usually Mezco just gives us a standard looking gun. Not this time, we actually get one with some good detailing on there. Buttstock does come out. The clip does come out, so I really like all that customization on it, so that's pretty good there. It also comes with a really nice silencer, like a really nice one. Nice little, you can see right there, dry brushing on the nickel and everything. Looks really good. A bunch of different hands right here for different types of poses. So we get, you know, your standard fist, trigger hands, all that kind of stuff. Then we get some really cool hands that can come with some different types of poses that you can do with it, which I appreciate. Really good there. We get 3 different gun effects that you can peg right in, also really good. We also get like I mentioned earlier, we get a holster for the side piece, and here is the side piece itself. It does cock back, and of course, typical Mezco, the gun itself, the clip does come out, so I really do appreciate that. Also, he gets a belt, so all his utilities are right there, and then we get 2 sticks of dynamite. Now, oh, and let me go ahead and show this off. I didn't want to like lose any of these pieces, so I kept them right there in their little plastic container. But you guys can see there's like the remote control for the drones. There's some extra detonators, grenades, and there's 3 different knives, a bunch of different clips for the gun themselves. So you get some extra magazines, which I like and appreciate. I saved the best for last. This is my favorite accessory by far. This is where I think this Firefly really does shine. And this is where I will start making somewhat of an argument that, okay, if you did want to spend a good amount of money on a high quality Firefly with a really good amount of accessories, this one could just be it. And you know, I wasn't too thrilled about Snake Eyes, wasn't too thrilled about Storm Shadow, Roadblock, okay. But this is some really cool ingenuity. So it clips on and off very easily. I do wish these were gravity magnets, not clips, but you pop the head off, you slide them on, clip them on, it goes on pretty easily. Where this backpack really does shine, this part right here folds up. You guys can see there's all his tools right there for his drones and his little RC car, which the wheels do work. So again, pretty cool. But the cool thing about it is, and you saw it in the beginning of this video, I did the 360 view, it clips on like so. And these things, these little drones, clip on and off right there. But the cool part is that this backpack has this. Now, again, if you're a fan of toy photography, this is going to be really cool. And this is where, again, you can get some really cool looking photos. This is a smoke effect, which I do appreciate. And then boom, just like that. So now you have it looking like it's flying right out of the backpack. Now, for ingenuity, This is really good. I like this a lot. This is a really cool accessory, an added bonus, and this really does give this Firefly a little bit of attitude, a little bit of like wow factor where you're like, okay, I might just buy it just for this accessory alone. So they peg on and off pretty easily, and you won't have much of a struggle. I'm gonna go ahead and put it down here for a second. There you go. So you guys can see what both of them look like. You got one long and one short, so they look really cool coming out. And again, like I said, for accessories and for that wow factor, this is definitely it. I think that's really cool, and I think that's well done by Mezco. All right, we're gonna go ahead and clean it all up, and then we're gonna talk about, oh, before I forget, the last thing I do want to talk about is the price. MSRP is $112. That's almost a deluxe price. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not too thrilled about the price for Firefly. I do think Firefly should have been $105, $100. Honestly, it could have also been $95. I think some of these Mezcos are just a little overpriced and a little too up there for my taste, and this is where I'm going to get into the argument with, I understand for the everyday consumer why somebody would not pick this Firefly up, even though I think this is actually one of the better ones that they've done, and you'll see the score reflecting of that in the final verdict when we get there. But for the everyday consumer, I can't imagine someone saying, well, why would I spend $112 when I can just go buy Hasbro for a fraction of the price and something that's always on sale? You can catch Firefly, Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Firefly on sale anywhere between $25, $30, $35, something like that. It's a fraction of the price, where you're probably not going to find an on sale price unless you go to eBay and buy it used. And even then, you're still paying $80, $90 for this guy. A little up there for my taste. $112 for a brand new Mezco. Again, a little up there, albeit I think some of these accessories are some of the really cool ones and some of the better accessories we've seen from the G.I. Joe lineup. But that's just me. You guys let me know how you guys feel in the comment section down below. All right, let's go ahead and now talk about the final verdict. Let's go ahead and clean all this up. All right, you guys, we are now here at the final verdict. I'm going to go ahead and put the score up on the screen, and we're going to go ahead and talk about it. So the final verdict score for Firefly, I gave him an 82 out of 100. Box 18, pretty good on the box. Still wish they had window view, then it'd be perfect. But that's just me. It doesn't take away from the figure, though. Articulation 11. This is the biggest problem I have so far with Mezco, is the articulation is just not getting any better. Look and design, I gave it an 18 out of 20. Accessories 20. It's a home run there, guys. And the price 15. The biggest complaint, like I said, I have about this figure, about Firefly in general, is just the articulation. We are not getting good articulation. We still need some better ankles. And again, I get it because of the suit and everything. It's going to hinder its articulation, but man, it really hinders the articulation. I mean, Hasbro has better articulation than this, and they're more of an action figure style where, yes, people are going to say this is a toy wearing pajamas. I get all that stupid criticism, but I do think Hasbro should improve their articulation. They definitely need some improvement there, 100%. That's why it gets 11 out of 20. Look and design, it would have gotten a 20 out of 20. I just, again, think the design of the suit, again, you can make it a little bit thinner material. I don't have a problem with the material they use, but if you did want better articulation, you probably should make the suits a little bit thinner, a little more spandexy, or at the very least, can we just improve the freaking ankles on these things? I mean, my lord, do they suck ass, bro. Like, it is so bad. Fix the ankles, man. Like, that's something that's just been a problem throughout all Mezco. Accessories, again, this is the thing. This is where it shines the brightest. Accessories are a home run. I mean, you can see right there. I mean, look how cool all that is right there. I mean, just awesome. Like, just that right there, that generic pose, even though it's not the greatest pose, I get it. It still just looks really cool just right there as is. I mean, just an unbelievable job with the accessories. And then the other big problem I have is just the price. I think Mezco's asking a little too much for these G.I. Joe figures. I do. I think they're just asking way too much. $112 for Firefly shouldn't happen. $95 for Storm Shadow should not happen. We should reduce the price by $5, $10, $15 here. We really should. I mean, again, Hasbro is a fraction of the price. That's where I keep asking this question. Like, is this figure right here, right now, better value than what you're going to get from a Hasbro figure? The answer is just no, honestly. And that's just my opinion. You guys can comment down below if you think I'm wrong and why. Don't just say I'm wrong and just leave it at that. No, comment why. But for value sakes, for dollar per dollar here, Hasbro still makes a better product. And that's my biggest hang up with the Mezco. Does it look better? Does it have more accessories? Yes. But as far as value goes, this is $112. You factor in shipping and taxes, this thing's coming out to $115, $120 plus dollars. And it's a little too much, man. It's a little too much. When again, you can get something for a whole lot cheaper, fraction of the price, that has better articulation, Comes with the accessories that you just need, right? The Hasbro Firefly, the G.I. Joe classified Firefly, just comes with the accessories you need. It comes with his drones. It comes with maybe, I think, a gun, a couple of hands, and the RV car. That's just good enough for Firefly. That's all he really needs. He doesn't need all the bullet effects, shooting effects. He doesn't need all his knee pads and all the holsters, and doesn't need another side piece. He doesn't need all this, side handguns. Just one gun, one head, and the main art accessories right here, his drones and his RV. That's really all Firefly needs. I don't need anything a whole lot extra. It's nice that the Mezco gives me the extra, but again, if I'm just looking for the everyday value customer, which is what I'm thinking of here, that's who I'm putting this to the test to, the everyday customer. I just don't know why I would tell them, like, hey, I think you should buy this one. Now, I will say, out of all the G.I. Joe that Mezco has offered, just strictly going just to Mezco, I do think Firefly is the best one so far. And I think if you were just to get the one, I think Firefly is a good one to have. If you were just to tell me, hey, what would you buy? Would you buy the Mezco? Would you buy the G.I. Joe classified? If this was $85, if this was $90, I might say Mezco. But for now, I'm going to go with that classified. I think this is the better value so far. Comment down below if you think I'm wrong. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please hit that like button, share it, go watch some of our other videos, and I'll see you guys next time.